Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
Now, if you're not merciful to me,
what will happen to me?
then what is the use of my life?
Right.
My living in Vraja, and even Mohan to me. Overoru, nicely tied girl. Thus I somehow spent this time here, aspiring after oceans of nectar. Now, if you're not merciful to me, then what is the use of my life, my living in Vraja, and even Mohan to me? Notes: Sri Raghunath Das does not want to maintain his miserable life anymore without seeing Swamini. Swamini reveals herself to him and says, Tulasi, you have introduced yourself as my maidservant. Can I now reject you? No.
Can I reject you? Tulsi, Radhika is telling.
So he's saying, you have accepted me as your mistress. How can I reject you?
Can I reject you?
Can I now reject you? She's asking a question. How can I reject you? You have accepted me. Now you have introduced yourself as my maidservant. How can I now reject you?
Wow.
Surely you will get to see me.
This is the whole body.
Yes.
I see her devotion. Somebody gives him japa of Radha Mohan. He said, no, Radha, right? He refunded that japa back.
He gave the bag, Swamiji.
No, I got one chapel like yes. Radha Mohan on it, and I said I want only one Radha.
You, huh?
And Radha Lila said yes, I will. She's so nice, Radha Lila. Wow.
These words illuminate Sri Raghunath Das's heart with the light of hope. Then, when Swamini disappears again, he suffers intolerable, transcendental agony. If you don't grant me the right to serve you, then what is the use of this scorching life? It is as if Swamini then asks, how have you been staying alive all this time? Sri Raghunath Das says, listen, O nicely tied Swamini, do you think that I blissfully spent this time? No. With great difficulty, I was able to pass this time. Hope was my only support, like cooling drops of nectar that soothe my burning heart. One of the 9 special characteristics of Baba Bhakti is Asha Bandha, being bound with firm hope for attaining the Lord. Asha Bandho Bhagavataha Prapti Sambhavana Drida. There is an ocean of nectar in that hope. That nectar will not let me die. I think if I stay alive, I will surely get it. This tie of hope is even tighter in the stage of prema than in the stage of rati, and it culminates in Mahabhav. The maidservant's tie of hope is indescribable. They cannot give up this hope even if they are consoled in visions, dreams, or in smaran. The nectarian aspiration for Sri Radha's service is permanently seated in the heart of the aspirant. O Sri Radhe, young lady love of the arbors, I desire the most astonishing rasa of your maid service, which is a festival of constant love at every moment, and which is attained by each of the adolescent girls of Vraja by your merciful glance alone. When will you cast a merciful glance on me? Sri Raghunath says, your mercy is costless, so sometimes I forget how unqualified I am, and I think that I will surely get your service soon. When I look at my own unworthiness, my mind becomes upset. But still, your attributes make me eager for you. When I see you in dreams, visions, and smaran, then I think I will also attain you personally. My life is also almost over. Who can survive this thrashing? O merciful mistress of mine, hear my anguish. I cannot tolerate any more. Hear my final prayer. I have nothing more to say. I cannot find words anymore. If, despite all my misery, you will still not give me your mercy, then what is the use of my life, of my living in Vraja, and even of Mohan to me? Why should I continue to live without your mercy?
I'm coming.
So much time has passed, but I did not receive your mercy. If my life passes in this way, then what is the use? If my life passes in this way, then what is the use? I don't want Vraja. I don't even want Mohan. I don't need anything if you're not merciful to me. I don't have anyone else but you. O merciful Swamini, if you're not kind upon this suffering maidservant, then what will be my destination? You are Leela Mai, a playful girl, always intoxicated by pastimes that are sweeter than sweet. Therefore, it is not right to tell you about my misery. So there's two emotions that he's going through. He doesn't want to tell her misery to her. At the same time, there's nobody else. Therefore, it's not right to tell you about my misery. Today, though, I have no other resort than to submit this to your lotus feet. If you're not merciful to me, then I don't desire anyone else's mercy. This is the astonishing conclusion of Gaudiya Vaishnava worship. I don't want Mohan. I only want Sri Radhika. And without her, I don't care even about Mohan. The devotees of the Lord give up religion, economic development, sense enjoyment, and even the rarely attained liberation from the material world for His sake. They don't even want to remember these things. Srimad Bhagavat states, he whose memory of the Lord's lotus feet that are sought for by all the demigods and sages is always fresh and does not deviate for even half a second, and he who does not care about all the opulence of the three worlds is the greatest Vaishnava. And then again, the mind of the devotee who becomes attracted to the sweetness of the form, qualities, and pastimes of Mohan, the son of Nanda Maharaj, cannot even be taken away by this Lord Narayan. Such an exclusive dedication to Mohan is supreme, according to Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But those who have become eager to attain the service of Srimati Radharani do not even care about Mohan anymore. I don't need Mohan if I don't get your mercy. Not only do I not want Mohan, who is himself suffering separation from Sri Radha, I will even give up the association of those who long for Mohan. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami writes in his Svaniyama Dasakam, not even for a moment will I go near that impure place where a proud hypocrite worships Mohan alone without worshipping his most expert lover, Sri Gandharva, whose glories are sung by the Vedic scriptures and great sages like Narad Muni. That is my solemn vow. Blessed is the service of Sri Radha. Blessed is Sri Raghunath Das Goswami's loyalty to Sri Radha by hearing, chanting, and by remembering his lotus feet. The heart of the aspirant can also become scented with the fragrance of this loyalty to Sri Radha. Furthermore, Srila Dasa Goswami says, without my Swamini, what is the use of even Vraja, the most cherished abode of the Vaishnavas, to me? Even if the very wealthy lord of the Yadus would personally invite me to come and see him in Dwaraka, I will not leave the land of Vraja, the eternal, matchless playground of Radha and Mohan, for even a moment, even if I have suffered separation from the divine couple there for ages. But if I hear, even with my earlobe, that out of loving madness Radha has gone to Dwaraka, where she is clearly manifest, and where Mohan is holding her to his heart, then with a jubilant heart I will also immediately fly from Vraja faster than even Garuda, who flies with the speed of mind, and blissfully land in Dwaraka. Sri Raghunath Das says, O Radhe, you are an ocean of costless mercy. I am also worthy of your mercy, for I have no one else in this world but you. There is no girl as sad as I am. Thus, Sri Gaurasundara's grace was fully manifest in Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Sri Haripad Sila sings, O nicely tied Radhe, I am praying to your feet. My desire is inexhaustible. There is no limit to the nectar ocean of my aspirations, and I dived into its waves just once. Somehow, I have spent all this time on the bank of Radhakund in great sorrow and difficulty. Depending on your mercy, I am crying and crying. If you're not merciful to me now, then tell me, what is the use of my staying in Vraja? Curses on me for staying alive. My body burns in the poison of the black snake of separation from you. So then, what is the use of even Mohan to me? This is the end of this verse, Gurudev.
Wow.
You are reading this, no? Today.
Can you give this garnet, wash your hand, and give this garnet either Tulsi Mala
Oh yeah.
for Radha Mohan offering only, not Radha Rani.
Radha Mohan.
Only Mohan.
Mohan only,
Acha.
not Radha.
Okay, I wash it.
Mohan, eh? Huh?
You said to wash also.
No, your hand has to be washed,
Okay.
not the mala has to be washed.
Okay.
No.
This we were reading today, no?
Huh?
Some things are not in the PDF.
That was, yeah, we were
What?
reading this verse.
What?
Today we were reading this verse.
It was not in PDF.
This final part is not on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I was
What?
saying. Yeah, the final part, yes. In the middle is something that...
Some final part is not in my phone. Like most of it is in my phone, almost all of it. Some things I don't know why it's not. Anyway, it's still the meaning is still clear, but
Yeah.
some verses from Hispaniyama Dastakam, verse 3 and verse 4, they didn't include in the file for some
I
reason.
remember this because we were reading it today.
Yeah.
So, yeah. that was 102, no? 103 is...
103, what is that?
It continues like this, that he's rolling on the bank of Radhakund and this...
Should I go on with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful.
O Kripamayi, merciful girl, if you are not kind upon this suffering girl,
Radha.
then what was the use of all these lamentations and all my service to your lake for such a long time? O Kripamayi,
Radha.
merciful girl, if you're not kind upon this suffering girl, then what was the use of all these lamentations and all my service to your lake for such a long time? Notes: Sri Raghunath is the embodiment of separation from Sri Radha. Falling on the bank of Radhakund, he weeps out of great separation from his mistress. He knows not how to save his life anymore. Day and night, the river of his burning devotion swells, being filled up by the rains of grief and flowing ever more forcefully towards the nectar ocean of Sri Radha's lotus feet. We may have a feeling of want when something small is missing in our lives, and when we get that something small, we may feel fulfilled. But when we miss something tremendous, no peace and satisfaction can be felt unless and until we have gotten the whole thing. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami's eagerness and hankering for his beloved deity stands before us as the peak of the Himalayas, as the greatest example. An insignificant living entity cannot find any means To reach that high summit, a person who does not practice any bhajan cannot possibly fathom Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's anguish of love and separation. At every moment, new waves of ever-increasing eagerness roll in the river of his heart. He is not able to tolerate the pangs of separation from Sri Radha anymore for even a moment. Certainly, Radharani may sometimes respond to the anguish of separation the loyal maidservant goes through, but that response will be momentary. Seeing Swamini for just a moment makes the darkness of separation that comes down later seem even more deep. It is then as if Sri Raghunath's love-scented ears then hear the following words: Tulasi, I am very close by. Why are you lamenting like this? How much Raghunath desires to hear that nectar-mocking voice, but the wind of his stuttering life airs make it vanish again. In this way, his desire to see her increases more and more. O Kripamayi Swamini, O merciful mistress, I am such a sad girl. If you don't bestow your mercy upon me, then what is the use of all my lamentations? I have lived by your lake Radhakund for so long, serving it. If you don't reveal yourself, then what is the use of all that service? This miserable and suffering person bows down humbly at your lotus feet, considering them to be the only goal of his life, and so he continuously weeps loudly and begs pitifully, May the Queen of Vrindavan be merciful to me and allow me in her own party, engaging me in her direct service. In his lamentation, Sri Raghunath submits his own pitiable condition to Swamini's lotus feet, saying, For a long time I have stayed in your kunda, serving it. If you don't reveal yourself to me, then what will be the result of all this service? How dear is the kunda to you? What is the use of my service to the kunda without becoming the object of your mercy? At one point, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami said, When I saw the sweetness of your lake, I developed a desire to serve you. And in his Radha Kundashtakam, he also glorified the sweetness of that lake so much. But when he feels the pain of separation, he says, When I am without my beloved, this kunda looks like the gaping mouth of a tiger to me. Ordinary people cannot easily understand what confidential sentiments are hidden in these extraordinary words. With great humility, Sri Raghunath says, Ha Kripamayi, you are the embodiment of boundless grace, and I am just a suffering girl. Suffering people are naturally the objects of your compassion. Therefore, show me your quality of compassion and grant me your devotional service. This person bows down to you, holding a straw between his teeth. Please revive this miserable wretch by sprinkling him with the nectar of your service. A merciful person does not abandon even a wicked soul who takes shelter of her. Therefore,
let's lie down.
O Gandharvike, please don't abandon me. When Sri Raghunath reaches the pinnacle of devotional love, he becomes this humble. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Srila Sanatana Goswami has written, humility becomes manifest when prem reaches its ripened stage.
Humility.
Humility becomes manifest when prema reaches its ripened stage.
Underline.
It's already underlined. Since the gopis love Mohan the most, they're also the most humble. In the same way, prema becomes manifest when humility culminates. In this way, love and humility are each other's cause and effect. In his Gopala Champu, Srila Jiva Goswami describes the love and humility of the gopis as follows. Alas, when Sri Radhika and the gopis are separated from Mohan, they resemble fawns that are scared of a forest fire, chakora birds that are deprived of the moonlight, vines that have lost hold of their supporting trees, fishes that have come out of the water, or young uprooted lotus flowers. The painful separation of the maidservants from Sri Radha is not even slightly less than that. Some give the following commentary on the words Tvatkunda Madhyamapi Sevyamanam. Even in the middle of your lake I serve you. One day at noontime, when Srimati enjoyed her water sports in Radhakund with the Lord of her heart, she dropped one of her jeweled tourings in the water. Srila Raghunath Das, in his spiritual body as Tulasi Manjari, looked for it under the water for a long time until she found it and put it back on Srimati's toe. Remembering this service, he now says, "Be so kind to me that I will be blessed by attaining that direct service to your lotus feet that I have rendered so many times and with which you always eased my anxious pain. Listen, listen, O merciful Rai. If you don't give a drop of mercy to this miserable girl, that she cannot find peace for even a moment, alas, then surely all her ravings will have been in vain, like crying in the forest. Alas, what will be the use of my staying at Radhakund for so long, serving you with loving attachment, if you now kick me away? Everything will be wasted. Please show your greatness by bestowing your mercy upon this fallen soul, for I have taken sincere shelter of you." This is the end of this verse.
Yeah.
Radhe Radhe Go